Hello agents, in this video I'm going to talk you through my Firecrest build. Just got that up on screen now. How I see the Firecrest build, and when I was building it, I just seen it as a full-on electronics build. I wanted it to be a sort of healer build with a very strong flame, and that's how I seen it. There is differences in opinion, like there is definitely some room to, like, say, put some firearms on it with some of the like talents you get and that, but I've gone full-on healer. And if you want to know how I run my Firecrest, I'm going to show you guys now. But before that, we're just going to look at the actual build and talk through what it does. So the first, like, I've gone full on 6-piece. I've not dropped the piece out or anything. This is 6-piece Firecrest, and for the set bonus 2 that you get with that is the +3 incendiary grenade capacity, and then for 3 pieces it gives you 50% flame turret range and 30% flame turret damage, and the 4th piece gives you the talent Firecrest, so your weapon damage is increased by 15% against burning targets. So that's where it kind of caters for a more DPS build there, but yeah, I've kind of ignored that. It's not important to me. I really wanted this to be a very high skill power build, mainly for the flame turret. The 5 pieces there, you get another incendiary grenade capacity. You get 1 on, you get 5% flame turret range, you get 20% flame turret damage extra, and then the final piece gives you the talent improved Firecrest. So bullets have 2% chance to cause an enemy to burn. Burning targets can cause a fiery explosion when killed once every 10 seconds, and the agent is immune to their own fiery explosions. NPCs set on fire by your flame turret will burn 25% longer for every 2,000 electronics, so I'm getting 100% longer for the 10,000 that I have. So that's the build, guys. I know the set bonus 6 was broken when it first came out. It is now fixed. You used to be able to set yourself on fire, and it was a little bit pointless, but it's fixed now, so you don't need to worry about that if you didn't know it was fixed. It is. So that's the Firecrest, guys, and as you can see, these are how my stats look. So my firearms, I've put nothing on. It's on 2961, giving me a primary firepower of 177 on my Midas, 196 on my Caduceus. My toughness is at 299. I'm very, very spongy. My playstyle, with how I'm going to use this build, is like a healer build sort of thing, caters for that. So I don't worry about that toughness. I'm going to be support, and I'm not going to be getting into too many fights. My team are going to do that for me, so I'm not worried about that. My electronics says 10,276, which gives me the skill power of 3,051. I've tried to get that as high as I could, and how I've done that is we're going to go into the rolls now. So on my Firecrest vest, we've got it rolled to electronics. I have 9% skill haste on it, I have enemy armor damage on it, and I have increased kill XP. The enemy armor damage isn't a bad thing. I'm going to use this for PvE mainly anyway, but if I was going to use this for PvP, I may want to switch that out to something else, and the increased kill XP I certainly would switch out. It's pointless in my opinion. I don't need XP, so I would switch that out if I could. But I had to roll a skill haste on it because I wanted that, and I had to roll the electronics, so I was a bit stuck with the other 2 talents there. But like I said, if you are in PvE, the 6% enemy armor damage ain't all that bad. My mask, oh, sorry, before we go on to my mask, mods I'm running on this piece, I have an electronics mod, maxed out 267 with 3,322 skill power, and the same again. They're the 2 mods I use on the vest. And then my mask here is rolled to electronics. I've got enemy armor damage on it again, and damage to elites. As you can see, I am going for PvE there. I'm happy to keep the enemy armor damage, and I've also thrown on some damage to elites for good measure there. And the mods I run on that is the electronics maxed out again at 267 with 3,322 skill power. And then my knee pads, again, is rolled to electronics. I've got skill power rolled on them, and I've got bleed, shock, and blind death resistance on them. And the mods I have on that is electronics mod with skill power again, and my performance mod is the 4% turret damage mod. I'm looking to get as much damage as possible out of my turret, so I think that one's very important. And again, with the skill power electronics, I think these are very important to get that up to make the turret even stronger again. And then on my backpack, it's going to be rolled. It is rolled to electronics. I've got skill power rolled to it, and I have ammo capacity on there. I'm very happy with that piece. The mods I have on this is again the the 1 electronics mod, 267 with skill power, and then I've got the 2 turret damage at 4% on there as well. My gloves, I have them rolled to electronics. I have skill haste rolled on them. I've got critical hit damage and enemy armor damage. Now, if I was to roll anything off that, it's going to be the critical hit damage. I am shooting potatoes. I don't need that. yeah, it's pointless for me. I'm not going to be hitting that hard at all. So if I could, I would have changed that to something else. But they're not all so bad. If I get another piece, I'll look at doing that. I'm trying to think of what the other roles are, to be fair. But yeah. That's the only one I would change. I'm happy with the enemy armor damage because, like I said, I'm using this in PvE and I want as much skill haste as I can get. So that's that. And then the holster there, it's maxed out on them all. I have fully optimized this build, by the way. I spent some div tech on it. And the major attribute there I've got on is some more skill haste. So when I roll them all like that, if we go and have a look at my character stats, you'll see that I have... trying to just find the skill bit. There we go. So, sorry, the PvE bit first. We've got 12% damage to elites, and we've got 22% enemy armor damage. All that means is when you are fighting NPCs in PvE, you're just going to be causing that bit more damage. And I'm assuming it does go over to your flame turret. Don't hold me to that. That's the reason I've got it on there. If it doesn't go over to them, then you can roll all the damage to elite and enemy armor damage off it, because it doesn't really matter. I'm just assuming that will increase your flame damage as well. And then the skills there, skill power very high. I got 25% skill haste. It's not great, but with the skill power being so high and having the skill haste, like, I'm only going to be throwing down my turret all the time. That will be back as it runs out, so I don't need to worry about it unless it gets destroyed. I'd have to wait for it. But I also run an immune station, and that comes back fairly quick as well. If I'm going to run like a full healer build, I'd go Reclaimer. This is, although a healer build, it is still going to be a build where I'm going to heal people, but it's more about the flame turret and the damage. That's why I focused on that, and why the skill haste is a little bit lower than I'd normally have it on a healer build. And that's it. Survivability is really, really low. You do have to, like, play proper support with this build. If you do it like this, you want to be in cover a lot. You are just there for your people, for your team. You're going to be throwing your turret out, box out. You're just going to be looking after your team. You're not going to, this ain't a sort of build, well, the way this is rolled, to go out and face tank NPCs. The other thing to look at before we go on to my weapons is my abilities. Now, you're obviously going to want to run the flame turret. It's the whole point of the build. And I'm running it with a support station in a minute on life support to get my team up if they go down. It's healing at 14,474 HP a second. Not great. It's half of what my Reclaimer does, but it's alright. It's good. It's not bad for, like, the build that it is. The flame turret, on the other hand, is hitting 19,131 HP damage. I've seen, I don't know, I like that a little bit higher if I could have, but yeah, it's not too bad. That's what my flame turret is hitting. And, like, you'll run anything of the special abilities here, so like your recovery link, tactical link, or survivor link, whatever it is, the team you're in, discuss your tactics and whatever you want to run there. The talents I'm running now, an absolute given is wildfire, because if you have wildfire on, applying burn to any target triggers a 30% chance per each target in 10-meter radius, so you're gonna want to put that on. I'm running combat medic and battle buddy on this side. So combat medic, if I hit a med kit, I'm going to be healing my friends as well and my team. And battle buddy, if someone does go down in my box, we're going to get a 30% damage reduction for 10 seconds, which I think's brilliant. And the other talent I've chosen to put on this is death by proxy, and that's just because if I'm able to destroy a hostile's deployed skill, I'm going to increase my skill power by 20% for 30 seconds, which means my flame is going to be hitting harder, and my box is going to be doing better. Now, it's just you want to take note with this. So say I destroy a hostile skill, so I don't know, an enemy's turret, I'd then have to throw the flame turret down after that. So my flame turret was already out, or my support station was already out, and then I destroyed a turret, it would not increase that skill power. So you need to play it wisely. So if you're about to throw a flame out and you notice an NPC has a turret out, destroy the turret and then throw your flame out. You get the extra 20% damage on that then, and that's how you want to work it, guys. And that's all that. And the guns I run these guns with every healer build that I have. So my Reclaimer build, my Final Measure build, this build, and it's a Midas and a Caduceus. And the reason for the Midas is just for the Midas talent, to be fair. Because I'm shooting potatoes, I'm using this as like a healer build, and I'm not going to cause that much damage. I feel that I at least want to do something. So with the Midas, it enables each bullet I hit reduces my damage, which is practically nothing anyway, but it also reduces the target's damage. So in a mission where there's like a boss or like a legendary mission with the hunters, you can reduce their damage by up to 20% by just spraying them. And that's what I do with the Midas. I will use that on bosses and tougher NPCs to reduce their damage to make it easier for my team to kill them. And that's the point. The other roles skills I've got on there is Talented. If I manage to kill a target with this weapon, it'll increase my skill power by 15% for 20 seconds. That works the same again as what I just explained. After you kill the target, you've got 20 seconds to throw down your skill to get that bonus. If your skill's already out, I believe it doesn't work. So yeah, you've got to be clever with that. Self-preserved, I want to change. I've been rolling it. It's not giving me anything that I want, but I will change that probably to what's on my Caduceus competent. So my weapon damage is increased by 10% for 15 seconds after using a skill. Like, I'm shooting potatoes anyway. It's not that important at all, guys. The most important thing about the guns I'm using is the Midas talent and then the Caduceus talent, because when I'm not fighting a tougher NPC, I'll be using my Caduceus, so I'll just be spraying all the other NPCs with this to give my team a heal, because each critical hit heals me and my group for 1% of my skill power, which is very, very high. I can only heal each player once every 0.20 seconds. So that's how I run my builds with these two guns. I think it's a bit of a clever tactic. Yeah, let me know what you think about that. A lot of people say they like how I do it and have changed their builds, their healer builds to do the same. But I really like it. I like the tactic. It helps the team. I'm a big team player. And the other talents there on my Caduceus, I've got, as I've already stated, competence. It's not that important. I'm shooting potatoes anyway. But I have intent. I've been trying to roll talented on it, once again, to get the skill power if I do kill an NPC. But intense ain't the worst, especially on this build, because the first bullet of a magazine has a 25% chance to apply the on-fire stasis effect to the target. And if you want to look at the mods I'm running, it's not really that important when you're not on a DPS build, but I've got a crit hit damage, optimal range, and headshot damage pro red dot sight, extended mag with crit hit chance and crit hit damage on it. I've got a small red grip with crit hit damage, stability, and reload speed, and a loud vent break with crit hit damage, headshot damage, and critical hit chance. And that will increase your threat, and I don't think that's always a bad thing. If you're good at staying in cover, if I can increase my threat and get some MPs shooting at me while I'm in cover, it makes it easier for my team. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but you can switch that out to a suppressor if you don't want to increase your threat, and you can reduce your threat instead. On the Caduceus, you do need to think a bit more about this, because the Caduceus talent requires critical hits. So what I've done on this is I've got a rugged mini reflex sight on it, because that gives me critical hit chance of 7%, also optimal range and critical hit damage. I got the extended mag on it with crit hit damage, crit hit chance, small laser pointer with accuracy, optimal range, and reload speed, and allow vent break with crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and headshot damage. My crit hit chance on that weapon ain't mega. We'll check that out now. So it's still on primary. There we go. So the secondary weapon there, my crit hit chance with it is only 13%. It's not mega, but it's something. I can spray enough enemies to at least give my squad some sort of heal. And that's the build, guys. Let me know what your Firecrest builds are like. I know I've heard a lot of people running it with more firearms as well, so that interests me. It is something I wanted to try out, but I don't know. For me, I'm more of a PvE player than PvP player, for one, and I like making my healer builds, and I like having a healer build per character. I have like Reclaimer on one, Final Measure I'm going to move to another, and then this is on my third character, so I do like having that healer build for PvE, and that's how I've done it. If this video has helped you and you like this build, you're going to roll your own similar, please hit that like button and consider hitting subscribe. If you like my videos, I do a lot of Division content. I have a lot more coming, so hit subscribe, turn notifications on if you like what you see, and be notified of when those videos drop. I also stream every weekend helping my subs. If you don't know, it's every single Saturday. You can jump in for any help. I can help you through anything on the game. Check out my Saturday streams. But thank you for watching this video, guys, and until the next one, peace out.